Good day, everyone. Welcome to the virtual training. I am Fredly Bukuk from the Office of Soul. For this training, we are going to create formative assessments. So this means that these are not graded activities. So this could be in the form of quizzes, assignments, forums, and any forms of mySOUL activities. So in other words, this is only just recording purposes. So these activities are only recorded but not part of our grading computation. So to do that formative assessment in our mySOUL, I will just open my mySOUL account. So I will just log in my mySOUL account. So okay, here in my mySOUL account, I will just open my sample course. So we have sample subject 84. This is my virtual course. So example, I will click sample subject 84. So to create a formative assessment in our virtual classroom, we are going to make a grade category in the name of uh, formative assessments. So, how to create formative assessment inside our gradebook? So, we will just click the gear icon or the admin settings, and then we will just click it, and then we will click the gradebook setup, and automatically you will be directed to gradebook setup page. So, this will be the setup tab, and this will be the structure of the gradebook. So, for instance, if you are making formative assessment inside the first quarter, so we will create another parameter that is not graded, or another parameter that is not part of the grading system. So we will just simply weight that one to 0, and then the maximum grade is equal also to 0, and so on the rest quarters. So for this case, this is the SBE concept. And for the college concept, we will just create example midterm formative assessments, final formative assessments. So for this case, I will just use the first quarter in the term for the SBE. So we will create a formative assessment here. So we will add a grade category. To add a grade category, we will just scroll down, and then we will see the add category button. So this pertains that you will add grade category in your gradebook. So click that add category button, and then you will rename it, the grade category. You will rename the category name to first quarter formative assessments. The aggregation, we will just change that one to simple weighted mean of grades, and then click the show more, and then uncheck exclude empty grades. For the purpose of this one, this will not affect because the weights and the maximum grade is equal to 0. So we will just simply uh, follow our parameter setup. So again, this will not affect because this will not uh, affect our first quarter formative assessment because this the maximum grade and then the percentage is equal to 0. This is only just for formality's sake. So the maximum grade is equal to 0. Okay. And then we will click the show more and let us see the grade display type is real. So this is okay, no need to change. And then we will click the parent category. And this is under what parent category? This is under first quarter. So we will click the first quarter. Okay, first quarter. So again, in all your formative assessments, okay, this is the settings only. It applies all the formative assessments in its quarters or terms. So first, we are going to name the category, properly label it. It could be first quarter or mid-term formative assessments. And then the aggregation, this is just only for formality's sake. So we will change that one to simple weighted mean of grades and then exclude empty grades. And then scroll down the maximum grade, change that one to 0. And then the grade display type is default real. And then you scroll down and you click the parent category. And then this is under what particular quarter. So this is under first quarter, for instance. So if you're done with the setting for your formative assessment, then kindly click the Save Changes button. And by default, our first quarter have now three parameters or components. We have the first quarter written works, then we have the first quarter performance tasks, and lastly, we have first quarter formative assessments. And each parameters has its weights or percentage. We have written works, we have weight that one to 40, and then we have performance tasks 60, and then our formative assessment is just plain recording of the insights or scores from our learners. So we will just set that one to 0. This is only practice exercises or learning exercises. So no bearing in their uh, grading. So you can do that from the rest of the quarters. The same steps will do. So this is under first quarter formative assessments. So again, how to do that? So for example, we proceed to the second quarter to add another parameters. So here in our second quarter, we have written works and then we have performance tasks. To add another grade category or parameter, just scroll down and then you click the add category. This pertains to adding a new grading category. So click that add category button and then you rename it to second uh, quarter formative assessments. And then aggregation, simple weighted mean of grades. Click the show more and then exclude empty grades. And then the maximum grade is 0. And then click the show more and then grade display type to real, so no need to change. And lastly, we are going to click the parent category and then Under what particular quarter? So we have the parent category. We will locate second quarter, and then kindly click the Save Changes button. So for our second quarter, we have now three parameters. Okay. Again, all of your formative assessment, you will set that one to maximum grade is 0, and then the weight as well as the default is 0. So we've done with categorizing or adding another grade category inside our grade book. So that's pertain to formative assessments. So now we are going to create an activity in mySOUL. So we will go to the course page of our virtual classroom. So we'll just click our course name. So sample subject 84, and we will redirect to our course page or our home page. So for instance, I will click the assessments. This is formative assessments. So kindly uh, properly label it as formative assessments. So for instance, I will create an activity. So I will click the create learning activity. And then for instance, I will just simply use the assignment assignment activity. So I will click the assignment, and then here, for instance, this is you properly name your assignment if this will be formative or not. So example, formative assessment. Uh, the example here, I will name it as COVID-19, like COVID-19 reflection, and then properly label it to example. This will be your general instruction. General, you give your general instruction, and then this is in the assignment. So we will give our questions. So what are your uh, what are your ins example, what are your experiences, what are your or uh, experiences or learnings. So example, experiences or learnings, what are your experiences or learnings during covid COVID-19, example COVID-19. What are your experiences or learnings during COVID-19? So this could be a subjective question. So it's up to you. Just properly. This is just an example, but you should define your question properly in this case. So first, in this description, we are going to set our general instruction, and then our main topic. So our main topic, and then we will click the display description on course page. So this will be displayed in the outside appearance of our assignment. And then the due date, you sorry, you set the due date, and then we have the availability. Okay, we will set up now the visibility of our assignment. So if this will this needs this particular assignment is not final, so we will just simply hide from students. Okay, it's not yet final, so we will have a revision regarding our assignment. So let's just the visibility, we will just change that to hide from students. And then the availability, so this will the assignment will open November 16, and then we will just disable the remind me to grade for the teachers. And then we are going to have this submission types, so it's up to us if we are going to accept the file submissions or the online text. For this case, I will just plain online text. Okay, and then we have here, we have the submission settings. We are going to require students to click the submit button, so yes. Okay, and then we scroll down, and then here we have the grade. So this is very important in categorizing our formative assessment. So we will click the grade and then the point. So this is just plain recording for our formative assessment. So we will give it type is point, and then the maximum grade is 100. And then we will click the grade category. So for instance, we will click our newly created newly created grading category, which is first quarter formative assessments. Okay, as you take a look, we have the grade. Okay, if you're asking why is there a grade, again, this is just plain recording of the points but not part of the grading computation. Okay, so we will just simply, if you want to have none, so there's no point. So if you change that one to none, again, so this particular activity is not part of the grade book. This is just plain exercise. But if you want to have an organized category, if that is formative assessment, so we are going to click the grade type. We're going to click the point so that we can uh, categorize it to our formative assessment. So don't worry, because our formative assessment weights 0, and then the maximum grade is 0. So no need to worry. So again, to have it as a formative assessment, first we are going to select what particular activity in mySOUL that is part of the formative assessment. It could be in a quiz format, assignment format, or form format, as long as you set particular setting, and that is the grade. Okay, the grade, and then its particular grade category. So it is, in this case, I will click the formative assessments. So let's have a recap of our assignment settings. Again, the teacher's decision regarding the assignment type. He or she may not use the formative assessment in naming the assessment name. Or example here, we will we will cut the formative assessment here. Example, we have the assignment name is COVID-19 reflection, and in the description, we must give the instructions, properly instructions, what particular activity is this one? Is this graded or not? Or this is plain uh, recording purposes. So again, you must set the mode of assessment in this particular activity. S- So you can have it as your assignment name, as plain title of the assignment, and then you have a general instruction, but please elaborate if that is formative assessment or not. And then you have your main topic of your assignment, and then you must click the display description on course page, and then you set the due date. And then if there's a need to change the description, if this assignment is not yet final, so my suggestion is you should hide from students. And then the availability on how you're going to allow submissions. So you set the date and then the time. This is military time. And then you scroll down and then you click the submission types. So in this case, I will allow online text only. You scroll down and then the submission settings, you change that one to yes. That means that you required the student to click the submit button. And then this is very important, the grade. The grade the grade part or the grade settings will indicate your grade category of your assignment, if that is graded or not. So in this case, I will just click the type point to 100. Again, this is only just plain recording of the scores, but we must see to it that we are going to categorize it in such a way that this is our formative assessment. So I will click the grade category and I will just simply click our newly created formative assessments. That's way to 0 and a maximum of 0. So if that's under first quarter formative assessment, then click that particular grade category. And then you scroll up and then you save and return to course. Okay? You save and return to course. And then you can see here we have the assignment as an our activity for the formative assessment. So this is hide, not published to the students. So if this is ready and and final final assignment, so just click the three vertical dots and then show it to your students. So just click the three vertical dots and then show. Okay, so if you see the grade book, okay, the grade book, you can click the gear icon or the admin settings, and then you click the gradebook setup. So let's see our assignment. So in our assignment, automatically we are going to redirect to gradebook setup, and then we have the setup tab, and then we will look our assignment. Okay. So in this part, we categorize our assignment COVID-19 reflection to first quarter formative assessment that weights to 0, and of course the points is equal to 0. So this is not a part of the grading system. This is just only plain recording of the scores. So you that's how you create a formative assessments. So you need first to create the grade category inside your grade book that says formative assessments. So you should properly label it to first quarter, second quarter, and so on for the SBE. But you should properly label it to, example here, we have first quarter formative assessment. And then for college, we have the midterm formative assessment and so on. So again, this is properly organizing your activities that are not graded activities in mySOUL. So you will just simply create a grade category inside the grade book that weights 0 and maximum is equal to 0. So that's how you uh, uh, create a formative assessment in mySOUL. So thank you very much for watching this and see you on the next virtual training.